Welcome to businesstraining.com and our video module on online recruiting. This is our agenda for the video topic today. Please take a moment to review the outline. Online recruiting or internet recruiting is the act of searching the internet to locate job candidates among active job seekers and currently employed candidates. There are a plethora of methods and sites that recruiters use for online recruiting. Sites such as LinkedIn, Monster, Career Builder, Twitter, or even company blogs are useful online recruiting tools. Internet recruiting is typically used for short-term goals, such as filling job vacancy positions. Recruiters can also look to virtual communities, discussion boards, and business forums as well for candidates, or they may turn to major search engines. Niche search engines and industry niche sites, or association sites, are also great places to search when searching for job candidates. If searching for a qualified IT manager, IT-specific industry sites may be a great place to find a well-qualified candidate. Online recruiting also provides a great deal of information for recruiters as well as candidates. Job applicants and candidates can receive information on the company and employer, as well as job duties and descriptions, compensation and benefits information. Recruiters can find information about the candidate more than is possible with other forms of recruitment. Platforms such as Monster.com, LinkedIn, and even Facebook often provide significantly more in-depth profiles about candidates that one could find with, say, a newspaper print advertisement. A few things recruiters want to look at when using online recruiting will be how much traffic does the site receive in regards to employment searches, job candidate flow, or areas of interest. Discover what value the site provides to you as a recruiter that other sites may not be able to provide. Why use the internet for recruiting? Put simply, it is a faster, easier, more convenient, and cost-effective way to reach thousands of qualified candidates 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. The main advantages of online recruiting are cost-effectiveness. There is more exposure for what you are paying in comparison to time. You could pay a couple $100s for a job posting online that will reach hundreds in comparison to paying closer to $1,000 or a couple of $1,000 investing in print or digital media advertisements, which may not reach as many candidates. Online recruiting is faster. You could post a job listing online in the morning and by lunch have dozens of candidates and be interviewing by that afternoon. Of course, this rarely happens, but it very well could. The speed at which you receive responses for online recruiting is significantly faster than in other forms of recruiting. Online recruiting gives you a better chance for success. There are many more experienced professionals using the internet as their primary form of job search. In fact, if businesses are still in the belief that online job searchers are younger generations fresh out of school, the fact is that the average age of job site users is 35 years old. With the internet, there is a much bigger audience as well as a wide geographical reach. You could find a lot more candidates nationally that may be willing to relocate than you could in a local newspaper. Online recruiting offers that wide geographical area an audience that no other form of recruiting can provide. And lastly, it is an easy form of recruiting, and many job sites or social networking platforms almost automate the process. All sites that the majority of candidates use are user-friendly and easy to use. This provides recruiters a viable tool to post job announcements without having to be fluent in web design. Of course, there are also disadvantages to online recruiting, just as there are with any form of recruiting. With a bigger audience and wider geographical reach comes the problem of too many candidates. Recruiters will have to develop a good system for filtering, eliminating, and reducing the number of job applicants for a position. Online recruiting brings in the problem of what is commonly referred to as a candidate spam, or too many non-optimal candidates. Of course, having too many candidates is not really a bad thing. It's the management of time and resources to a recruiter that presents the problem. Online recruiting will not always work, however. Not every job that a company posts online can be filled online. Sometimes, jobs must be filled internally or through networking. There will always be difficult to fill jobs that recruiters will have to spend a little more time with. And lastly, Candidates may view constant contacts or messaging from recruiters as excessive spam, primarily if they are a currently employed candidate. If a currently employed candidate is identified as someone that a recruiter deems highly desirable to be employed with their company, online recruiting is not the ideal form of recruiting. It is too impersonal. It may be best to go with a headhunter for more effective recruiting. Online recruiting is continuously evolving and changing as a recruiting tool. There will always be new methods or trends that arise as recruiting grows. One such growing method today is mobile recruiting. If your company is using internet recruiting, even if it's a company website, a recruiter's strategy is almost required nowadays to include mobile recruiting. That is online recruiting on the mobile platform. Mobile phone internet usage is increasing exponentially, with a recent study listing 28% of mobile phone owners browsing the internet on their mobile phone. As technology improves, that number will only increase. Some of the barriers to mobile recruiting that may prevent companies from implementing it would be primarily one or combination of three factors: a lack of knowledge about mobile recruiting options, a lack of mobile recruiting strategy, or a lack of knowledge about mobile recruiting technology. Any recruiter looking to contend in the online recruiting arena today needs to evaluate and consider mobile recruiting and ensure any online recruiting site offers a mobile recruiting option. Another recent trend is instituting a virtual job fair and job conference. These can be run on a third-party platform or social media platforms such as Twitter or LinkedIn. This is a new trend, but it is still something competitive recruiters and companies should consider. It builds on the advantage of online recruiting in reaching a wider audience in greater geographical locations. It can provide recruiters and networkers to meet with potential job candidates who are on the East Coast, but the company may be located on the West Coast. The virtual job fair and job conference can greatly increase exposure to populations outside of the local radius that traditional job fairs offer. Whether the cost or effectiveness of running a virtual job fair is worth it is still to be determined. But if the trends in technology and internet continue, it would be wise for companies to investigate this as an option. Here are a few tips to ensure successful online recruiting. First, develop good metrics to measure and support your company's online recruiting decisions. A 2009 survey indicated that only 38% of participants felt they had the right metrics to support online recruiting decisions. Only 33% expected to improve their metrics. Blindly diving into the world of online recruiting is haphazard and could potentially do more harm than good to an inexperienced firm. Second, create effective strategies for the most cost-effective recruitment solutions for your company. Of course, not all strategies are the same, and one strategy may not fit the needs of another company. So focus on what your firm needs for success. According to the survey, only 15% of respondents have an effective strategy for finding candidates on their company-kept blogs, and only 47% have an effective strategy for using social media networks. With such low numbers, wouldn't you want your firm to be in the 15 and 47%? Lastly, adequately train your recruiting team, especially if you are using in-house recruiters. 81% of respondents felt that online recruiting and internet sourcing is a major part of the recruiting strategy, and 79% handle internet recruiting internally. However, 47% felt that their team had inadequate training on internet research and sourcing and online recruiting. Recruiters and companies do not want to waste money. They want a high return on investments. Going into and developing a plan and strategy before implementing online recruiting will put you on the path to success for hiring ideal candidates. If your company already implements online recruiting, conduct an evaluation on the effectiveness and create a good metric to ensure a high return on investments, and trim the fat on conducting online recruiting. This will ensure that your business maintains a competitive advantage and hires from a pool of highly qualified candidates. Thank you once again for your time and attention, and this is businesstraining.com, where you can earn a master's level qualification to make more money.